Okay, so the ZF needs a map. I mean, it's a lot slower to react than a DSG would, but when it picks up speed, it picks up speed for sure. So, but it takes a bit of time to pick up that speed, and that is the lag that we need to fix on this car. See, once it's in gear, it goes. But to get it to gear in manual mode, it works very well. In D, in S, there's always a annoyance of lag in this car, which is really, really killing the experience in my opinion. You know, I thought the BMW ZF was bad, but this car ZF is at a different level. You know, it is a lot smoother than the BMWs for sure, but what BMW gets in terms of whatever response it gets versus what we get in this car, it's completely different. I mean, BMW is a lot more responsive, if you can call that gearbox any responsive at all. So that's the fun part of it, right? So what used to be a bad gearbox in my opinion on the 340i is now a great gearbox compared to this one. Even though after we bumped up the torque, the car is behaving a lot better and it's driving a lot nicer. But still, the ZF responsiveness needs to be really tuned up. And I think the API tune should do that, because everybody has spoken to about this car's gearbox map. It should do that. And it does a very good job of it. Hopefully, let's see. So yeah, now in terms of throttle response, earlier because of small intercooler, there was really nothing left in terms of power above 4000 RPM. Now all the way to 7000 RPM redline, this thing pulls like crazy. And if you guys can see, there's an orange Lamborghini next to me. I think it's an Urus, one of those crazy SUVs. So let's see. I don't think he's interested. He's good. There's too much traffic to have some moving fun. But yeah, so you know we are in S mode. I push the gas. That lag is just too much for me. And believe it or not, it's gotten a lot better after the tune. Before the tune, the lag was way, way more than what it is right now. But even then, in manual, it's not that bad. Manual is because the gear is always engaged, so it picks a lot better. And this is with the Strong Machine S mode and the ECU in dynamic mode. It's very laggy. And that takes away from the crazy engine. This car is a really good engine. That single turbo hot V engine is really good. Like earlier we did, I'm in second gear. Now if I push it, oh man, this thing has picked up so much speed. You know, that's the beauty of this kind of a platform, right? With the addition of Quattro, which is completely hooking on. And this is a proper Quattro, not a Haldex Quattro like I have in my Tiguan. This is a full-time all-wheel drive system with a V6 engine and a single turbocharger. Oh, it sounds so good, it handles so good. And I have to give it this. Audi has done a brilliant job on the suspension of this car. It's not harsh, yet it is extremely, well, as much feedback as you can get in a comfortable suspension car. It's got. I mean, they've given it everything. It's so well engineered. Yeah. And the pull, man, the torque pull of the turbocharger on the V6 is something else. It's really something. I'm right now stuck in second gear. I've kept it in second gear. And even in gear, if I go beyond 25%, 30% throttle, it takes a bit of time. And that's what all the ZF maps for this car that I've read about, that takes care of that. It spins up the tachometer a little more aggressively on throttle input, so that should hopefully improve the responsiveness. And there is a lot of torque limiter on the gearbox. I can feel it, because you can feel the torque going, and suddenly it just falls flat, and that's nothing but a torque limiter kicking in. So that is the catch. Other than that, this car is absolutely a hoot to drive, you know. Oh man, sorry, I'm the one behaving like an idiot. And it sounds so good. You know, after long I don't like the way my Octavia RS sounds. Horror sounds really bad. Whatever you do to it, it just can't take care of that horrible engine sound. This car from the factory only sounds good. And this is not the speaker sound. You know, we have actually turned that off.
Attention, border crossing ahead.
Wow, this car's true intelligent navigation system, even when it's not on, says that. So, yeah. And Hari has come to this car from a RS245, so he knows the difference. And he himself says, you know, the responsiveness of the gearbox is slow. But what the top end this motor has, now that with the intercooler and a stage 1 map, and we're running a 95 map, this car can go to a 98 Tron map, which we'll do soon. That will open up even more power. So, you know, like in this corner that we're going to take, and hopefully we get some clean road to show you guys a launch. In this launch, you saw the video, that's just stupid, man. This car launches so aggressively. See, there's no, I mean the torque is just not dropping. And like all turbo cars, this car makes the torque feel a lot more at half throttle. At full throttle, you will not be able to feel the mountain of torque. Wow. No, this car is truly something else. Picks up speed. Once it gets going, it just keeps going. You know, there is really no lack of torque anywhere in the RPM band. There is really, I mean, any gear, any RPM you floor it, any gear, it'll give you power. Like right now I'm in 4th gear and I'm gonna floor it. It'll just 4th gear floor, just a little bit of slack, and then boom, just throws me into this corner. And that's when you love the Quattro. That's why you really love the Quattro in this car. It just stucks. I mean, unlike the BMW X-Drive, which is bouncier at best, the Quattro in this car is just stuck. I mean, it's at the limit. There is oversteer, which Hari found out today. He was on the highway taking a very aggressive turn. He found out today. But my God, I mean, on a road where the X-Drive feels uncomfortable and unsettling, this thing is stuck. You can see now. Actually, I'm running traction control on, so I'll just turn it off. Hari, sorry, I can't deal with this. Traction control fully off. There's so many torque limiters in this car because they wanted to place the RS5 over this, that it just does not do this car justice. And one by one we're removing the torque limiters, and once all the limiters are removed, oh boy, this is gonna be a hoot. See?
Attention, border crossing ahead.
I mean, you can keep the throttle pinned and do stupid shit in this car. Absurd speeds, totally absurd speeds, and nothing. I mean, you have no fear. That's the beauty of a Quattro system, which I think the RS lacks. But RS has a different feel with it. It feels more out of control, so it's challenging you to control the car. Oh my God, this thing is quick. I mean, you really have to keep an eye on the speedometer just to see how fast it can do stupid shit. But yeah, it's absolutely wild, man, this car. Yeah, I mean, I love it. I mean, is it a good enough upgrade from the RS? Yes, definitely, for sure. Because you got the traction and you got the V6 turbo. That really helps in adding the top end with the RS's lag. The ZF gearbox is a huge letdown, but fortunately Audi has realized that their mistake of putting a ZF in this car, and the newer generation they're going back to a DSG gearbox. So that's definitely a plus point. Now we're going to take a U-turn over here and launch the car. That should be a very exciting experience. We are ESC off. Unfortunately, this car doesn't have any kind of launch control, which is good and bad, because launch control systems, if you ever used them, there's always a hint of lag between the time you let go of the brake and the than when the car goes forward. So we are mentally tuned to have that lag in our system. So
Attention. Border crossing ahead. Attention. Border crossing ahead.
okay, yes, I know this is about. Now you're gonna launch it. Right, ready? Get ready because this thing launches very. We wait till 4,000 RPM. Oh my God, this thing is quick.